the pouring stage. Champagne is poured in a flute. It's a very simple picture, visible light, and all you see is the champagne that is progressively poured into the flute. But this is another key step because the wine is very rich in dissolved CO₂. When it comes to the physics of fluids, when you have a fluid in agitation that contains this dissolved gas, most of the dissolved gas will be released. You don't see that with the naked eye, but if you take a video with an infrared camera, you will see that the CO₂ molecules will absorb a certain infrared wavelengths, and you see the result here. All these colored waves that you see getting out of the flute, getting out of the gas, well, that is the CO₂ that is being dissolved massively. All the CO₂ that is dissolved at this stage will no longer be present in the wine to produce bubbles for your tasting, so that is not necessarily good news. The CO₂ losses can be very big at this stage. When you're serving the wine, when you're pouring the wine in a straight flute like this, you will lose a lot of the dissolved CO₂. You will not perceive that you're losing so much CO₂, but that is what is happening. There's also an intuitive way of limiting damages, and that is tilting the glass when you pour the champagne in the glass, because that will create less turbulence in the glass and consequently fewer CO₂ losses. So you go from approximately losing 1/3 of the CO₂ in a vertical glass to 1/5 in the case of a tilted glass. Now, the CO₂ that will have been preserved will produce more bubbles, and therefore to extend the duration of effervescence during the tasting. Now, we've now served champagne, and let us take an interest in the formation of the bubbles. The life cycle of the bubbles consists of the same 3 phases every time. First of all, nucleation, which designates the birth of the bubbles, then ascent, once the bubble leaves the walls of the glass, and then once it reaches the surface, a lot of things happen, and we'll be dealing with how this bubble will burst to release all the aromatic components that will be released in the headspace of the wine.